Now let us continue with the logical deductions. Our first, of course, is the Dajjal can't be a horse, can't be a donkey, has to be a human being. Alright? Banu Israel are in Babylon. Is Babylon in the United States? Or is it in France? Where is it? In Iraq. Good, mashallah. We're making progress tonight. Banu Israel are in Babylon. And the Holy Land, where Holy Israel was located, is now under pagan Babylonian rule. But if the Messiah is to rule the world from the throne of Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, he'll have to rule the world from Jerusalem. He'll have to rule the world from a holy state of Israel. Okay? So the Jews deduced that the first thing that the Messiah would have to do would be to liberate the Holy Land for the Jews, because it's now under Babylonian rule, and the Babylonians worship the stars and the moon and the idols and so on. So number one, he'll have to liberate the Holy Land for the Jews. Number two, now don't ask me which hadith did you read this in, because I just told you these are logical deductions. And if you can't follow my logical deduction, go and play cricket or football or do something else. Don't waste your time with me. Number two, he'll have to bring the Jews back to the Holy Land to reclaim it as their own. Number three, he would have to restore the holy state of Israel in the Holy Land. Number four, he'd have to cause that holy state of Israel to become once again the ruling state in the world. These are the four major things you have to do. You may wish to add one more if you want. And that is the masjid that was built by Sulaiman alayhi salam. They call it the Temple of Solomon. We call it Masjid al-Aqsa. That masjid was destroyed by the Babylonian army. So he's going to have to build the masjid. Okay? Okay. This is what the Messiah will have to do. It follows therefrom that the false Messiah will have to do the same thing. Huh? If he is to successfully impersonate the true Messiah and convince the Jews that he is the true Messiah, he will have to liberate the Holy Land for the Jews. He would have to bring the Jews back to the Holy Land to reclaim it as their own. Number three, he would have to restore the state of Israel in the Holy Land. Number four, he would have to cause that Israel to become once again the ruling state in the world. Don't ask me which hadith I read it in, because these are logical deductions. Because I have people asking me, particularly those who call themselves my brothers, and they are my brothers, the Salafi. Sheikh Imran, which hadith did you read that in? So, brother, why don't you go and play football or something? Don't bother me. Don't bother me, go and play football. You can't understand this. Good. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said, that when the Dajjal is released by Allah into the world, he would live on earth for how long? 40 days. One day which would be like a year. One day which would be like a month. One day which would be like a week. And all his days like your days. All his days like your days, meaning all his days, meaning all the rest of his days like your days. Okay, if anybody else come now, don't let them in. Not allowed to come late. Good. One day like a year, one day like a month, one day like a week, and all his days like your days. Okay. Is it possible for us to be on earth and to live in a day which is like a year? Is it possible? Has there ever been in human history any prophet of Allah, any Muslim, anyone who's experienced living on earth in a day which has lasted for a year or more than a year? Huh? I don't know where you all come from, but I have never experienced anyone. I know of no one. I know of no prophet of Allah, none, who has experienced such a thing. I know that every single prophet of Allah, okay, lived in a world in which the sun rose in the morning and the sun set in the evening. And the day and the night combined to make a day. And that's how it's always been, since Allah created the world. Well then where would this day be which is like a year? If you believe that somewhere in the North Pole or the South Pole or somewhere on the earth there is a day which is like a year, go and play football. And don't waste my time. Because I'm growing impatient now. I'm impatient with this methodology. So don't waste my time. If you choose to believe that, go ahead and believe it. And just leave me alone with my students. We have a different way of approaching the subject. We said, are there angels on the earth? I mean, apart from your wives. Yes, each one of us has two angels. Do these angels live in our world of space and time? Are these angels subjected to day and night and so on? No. No. They are on earth, most certainly, but they are not in our world of time. So we're making progress now while you play football. Are there jinn on earth? I don't know how many you have in Brunei, but I know there are lots of them in Washington. Can you see the jinn? Are the jinn subject to the same day and night that we are subject to? No. So the jinn are here on earth, but not in our world of space and time, not our day. Their day is not like our day. And so only 5 ringgits worth of intelligence. That's all we needed. And we are making progress to understand the hadith. So now we know. Are there other worlds of space and time beside this? But that's how the Quran starts. He it is who has subjected to you all that is on the earth. ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. This is the beginning of the Quran. That Allah first created the material universe. The word ard can mean land, like Ardul Muqaddasa, holy land. The word ard can mean earth, and the word ard can mean material universe, all three meanings. So after Allah created the material universe, this world of space and time, He then created or fashioned 7 more worlds of space and time. The samawat. Okay? And beyond these 7 is His arsh, or the command center. The command center is arsh. And these worlds of space and time differ from each other. The Quran says that there is a day with Allah which is like 1,000 years of your counting. The Quran says that there is a day with Allah which is like 50,000 years of your counting. So the samawat differ from each other. So Dajjal is released on earth, but yet he's not in the material universe. The angels are on earth, but they're not in our world of space and time. So Dajjal can be here, and in the same way that the angels are here and we can't see them, similarly Dajjal can be here and we can't see him. Okay? Is it possible for someone who is in another world of space and time, like the angels, to appear in material form, the human being?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You make a mistake, no Chaitari for you. Okay, give me an example. Give me an example. No, let Yasin take first.
There can be
Someone in another world of space and time, but can appear in our world of space and time as a human being. Give me an example.
Jibril come to
MashaAllah, so take Tariq for him. Jibreel alayhi salam is an angel. An angel. But he came in the masjid in the form of a human being. Okay? And came and sat in front of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Give me an example of a jinn. Who can give me an example of a jinn? Don't tell me George Bush, huh? Iblis, the Quraysh met in a meeting to decide what to do about Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, because they couldn't tolerate his presence anymore. And an old man in a with a walking stick entered and joined the meeting. And when this one said, let's kill him, and that one said, let's do this, and that, he said, no. And then when one person said, let one man from each tribe surround his house, and as he comes out, all will jump on him. So no tribe will bear the blame by itself. So Banu Hashim will have to accept compensation. Huh? Then the old man said, that's the plan. And Nabi Muhammad ﷺ said he was Iblis. who came in the form of a human being. And so although Dajjal is in another world of space and time, Dajjal can appear in our world as a human being, because the angel did it, the jinn did it. So now we say that Dajjal will first have to passage 3 stages of his life, 3 stages, while he is here on earth, before we will see him as a human being. And only when he has completed those 3 stages of his life, then in the very last part of his life, which is only a few days long, only then would we see him as a human being. Good. The fellows who are playing football outside, they are waiting for Dajjal to appear as a human being. And only when he appears as a human being would his mission commence. Prior to that, there is no Dajjal in the world. So his day like a year will commence when he is on earth like a human being. And his day like a month and a day like a week will continue, and he's somewhere on earth. So we say no. You can't see him in a day like a year. You can't see him in a day like a month. You can't see him in a day like a week. But you'll only see him when his day is like our day. And at that time he'll be in Jerusalem, ruling the world from Jerusalem. Now if he has this mission to accomplish, to rule the world from Jerusalem, my gosh, how will a little state of Israel rule the world? That's a tall order. In order for Israel to rule the world, Israel will first have to rule the Arabs, because Israel is surrounded by Arabs. How will little Israel rule the